can he be purified? So here Prithu Maharaj gives a very wonderful, here Sarat Kumar gives very wonderful instructions. Yesterday we were seeing that most important verse, Satam Prasangam Avudilya Samhita Bhavanti Rutkarana Rasayana Katha Tajoshana Asha Pavargavatmani Shraddha Bhakti Rati Arush Pramishati. So just by performing devotional service, how a devotional service can be performed? By the association of devotees. So here, Sarat Kumar says, Vishro Mahaniha Bhavarnavam Plavesham Sadvargavatmakram Ashukhena Tirshanti Tatvam Harir Bhagavato Bhajaniya Mangrim Dupam Vesanam Uttara Dustaranam. This ocean of science is very difficult to cross. Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. Again, we are stuck up in this only material world. It is very difficult to cross because it's invested with many different sharks. Kulashekar Alvar, Mukandmala says, this whole Havasagara is like a ocean. In this, there are sharks and alligators. And who are they? None other than our own relatives. Don't go and tell your father or mother you're a shark and an alligator to be thrown out of the house. They have allowed you to come here. So one who is not interested in devotional service, they are compared to sharks and alligators. So they are just distracting the mind to reach to Krishna. So it's such type of science, such type of ocean is very difficult to cross. So he said, although those who are not devotees undergo severe austerities and penances to cross the ocean, we recommend that you simply take shelter of the Supreme Personality of God. The lotus of the shelter of the lotus feet of the Muslims. It's very difficult to cross the ocean, but whoever takes the shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, Samashitaye Padapallavaklavam Mahat Padam Punyesho Murari Bhava Buddhi Vatsa Padam Param Padam 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 Yat Vipadam Natesha. Very important words to be learned. Samashitaye Padapallavaklavam Mahat Padam Punyesho Murari. Samashita. Completely take shelter of the Supreme Personality of God. Where, which anga? The lotus feet has been destroyed. Take the shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. Samashitaye Padapallavaklavam. This lotus feet is compared to a boat. When you sit on that boat is so huge. The moment you sit, you have crossed the ocean because it has completely measured the ocean. Because when you sit on the ocean, in the next shore is there, you easily can jump it. Samashitaye Padapallavaklavam. Pallava means boat. Mahatpadam, which is such a big, huge boat. Mahatpadam. Punya Yasho Murari. It belongs to whom? It belongs to Murari. Mura is a demon. Ari means the enemy of the devil. So who is the enemy for the demon? It is Krishna. Who killed the demon? It is Krishna. Murari. So, Mahatpadam Punya Yasho Murari. Bhavam Buddhir Vatsa Padam Parapadam. Bhava Ambudhi. This Bhavasagar, Ambudhi means ocean. This Bhavasagar is a vast ocean. Bhavam Buddhir Vatsa Padam Parampadam. What happened? Just by sitting on that boat of Krishna's lotus feet, the whole world, the ocean, the huge ocean, became a small place occupied by the hoof print of a Vatsa. Vatsa means calf. So if you have a small pitch which has been made by calf's hoof prints, like even the calf walks, they make some impressions. In that impression, how much water you put? That much the whole world, ocean, the whole ocean becomes such a small thing just because you have climbed Mahatpadam. Why you should climb there? Because Padam Padam Yad Vipadam Natesha. In this material world, every step there is a danger. So in this verse, there is maximum number of steps which has been spoken. Padam, Padam, Padam. One Padam is Krishna's abode. By sitting in the lotus feet of the Krishna, we can reach Krishna's abode very easily. Automatically you have reached. Just have to take shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. Whole world becomes a small place occupied by the Vatsa Padam. Because here every step there is a danger. Though you may try to cross the step, the result is written here. There are many people who are trying to do a lot of austerities to cross this ocean, to control the mind, control the senses. There are so many jnanis, yogis doing so much of tapasya. You go to Himalayas, they sit naked, they just apply ash, they're not bothered to take care of their body. They're doing a lot of tapasya. Lord Krishna is going to give some siddhis for them because they're at least coming out of all the sense gratification. At least they are better than the karmis. Jnanis and yogis are better than the karmis. Karmis are interested only in their sense gratification. They are better than the karmis. They have now started walking in the path of transcendence. What is the meaning of walking in the path of transcendence? Understanding our position. Who am I? I am not the body, I am soul. This is the basic level of understanding. The highest level of the perfection in understanding is to understand I am servant of Krishna. But at least they have started understanding I am not the body, I am soul. They are in the pursuit of understanding. Some may have accomplished understanding I am not the body, I am soul. They just have to wait to get association of devotees that they can perfect in their sadhana, they can perfect in their tapasya. That is why it is said, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Man Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurvada. It takes thousands and thousands of births to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead in these three different features and to understand our position in relationship to Krishna. But for that, one needs association of devotee. That is why here it is said, if a person is fortunate to get the association of devotees, then he can easily cross the material ocean. So Maitreya Rishi says, in this way, the spiritual knowledge was given by Sanat Kumar to Prithu Maharaj. Who is Prithu Maharaj? The Supreme Personality of God himself. Expansion of the Supreme Personality of God. But still, for the welfare of the whole world, he is placing a question to Sanat Kumar. All the four Kumaras in which Sanat Kumar started answering. Then the king worshipped them in the following words. The king says, Rajovacha Bhutome Anugraha Purvam Harinartan Kampina Tam Apadayitum Brahman Bhagavan Yuyam Agataha. So Lord Vishnu has shown special mercy unto me. That is why you have come to my place. It is Krishna's Anupampa, because even to get the association of the spiritual master is also prasadam of Krishna, mercy of Krishna. That is why morning Mangalarti. What is the last line you see? Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado Yasya prasadat nagati kutopi Dhyayanstu vanstasya yashasri sandhya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. You cannot sing morning tune now. That is why I had to put in all these ragas. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasada. Yasya prasadat means it is anugraha of Krishna that we are getting the association of the spiritual master. Just imagine if Prabhupada would not have been there. Indi Prabhupada na hoito. There's a nice song which is written by Srila Jayapataka Maharaj. His own in the Jayapataka Maharaj. It's a nice song. If Prabhupada would not have been there, what would have been? What he would have done? He would have roamed in some fish market. If a Brahmin is there, then he would have roamed some in the vegetable streets. Or if a Kapori is there, he would have gone to some theatres. And now too, there is no question of going anywhere. We would have been locked in the house with 3-4 masks, isn't it? We would have been just locked inside the house with so much of fear of death. Now everything is closed, there's no question of going anywhere. But just see, the fear has engulfed everyone's heart to such an extent. They have forgotten one thing. Death is inevitable. Whether you place 10 masks, 20 masks, 30 masks, if it is written, but one day it has to come, isn't it? The whole world is just dying every day out of fear. It's only Srila Prabhupada who has given us one weapon. And what is that weapon? This is the weapon. Just chant the holy name and be fearless. Abhaya Charana Aravinda Bhakti Vedanta Srila Prabhupada. Right from his childhood, his name is Abhaya. Abhaya means fearless. This fearlessness can come only when you chant the holy name, or the whole world is in whole world. Just chant and give this chanting to others also. Because there is only one kripa which we can share with everyone. There is a prasad which we can share with everyone. That is a holy name. And distribute prasad. Morning hours, you can just distribute some prasad also. Some fruits you can give. But nowadays people don't want to take anything. At least give holy name. Just chant the holy name. Just by your walking on the streets, I am telling you, there will be one person who will be looking at you, who will be trying to see you, follow you, and then take up Krishna consciousness seriously. We don't know who he must be in the past life. He must be a great acharya in the past life, in different philosophical processes. He is just waiting. Jnanavan prapadyate Vasudeva sarvakti bahunam janmanam. Such jnani must be waiting. And if he gets this holy name, who gets this credit to taking the devotional service? You will get the credit. Whoever he has seen and taken it, he becomes his pradakshat guru. So Srila Prabhupada says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Jare deko tare ko Krishna Desh. Whoever you are seeing, chant and give Krishna Desh. That is what is the need of the hour, not only this hour, every hour. Every yuga, every hour, this is the only need. That is the holy name. This holy name is only going to elevate the dying people, or the people who will be just dying. And there is no end to the fear. So now he says, oh Brahmana, what should I give you? Brahmana says, what you will give. It is not Kshatriya who can give the charity. It is a wrong understanding that a Brahmana has to be given charity. No way. Brahmana possesses everything. It's only the Kshatriyas are the caretakers of the properties. Namo Brahmana Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Nama. Krishna loves the Brahmanas and the cows. All the property of Krishna belongs to the Brahmanas. But the Brahmanas give it to the Kshatriyas to take care. And whenever required, the Brahmanas have the authority to ask the charity. It's not charity to ask their own things. And their things are actually whose things? Krishna's. Because Brahmana uses the things which have been given by Lord for the worship of Lord. If he is doing that, then he is a Brahmana. If he is using it for his personal satisfaction, gratification, then he is not a Brahmana. He is just only Brahma Bandhu, a brother of a Brahmana, born in a Brahmana family. That is why in those days, Brahmanas were cared by the Kshatriyas superficially. Actually, Brahmanas are caring the Kshatriyas, giving that priority to take care of the property of. What is the work of Kshatriya? Kshatrayate Kshatriya. Kshat means harm. Trayate means to protect. To protect one from harm is Kshatriya. So to protect the property of the Lord is the privilege which has been given to the Kshatriyas. So Brahmanas, whenever they require, they will take whatever needed for the service of Lord. So here he says, the king says, oh my dear Brahmana, my life, my wife, my children, my home, my furniture, my household paraphernalia, my kingdom, my strength, my land, especially my treasury, all are offered me. Take everything. Generally we say, Tan man dhan sab hai tera, Swami sab kuch hai tera. But when it comes to giving, Tan man sab tera, but dhan mera, except for dhan, you ask anything. I am ready to come. Every day I am ready to come. Every day I am ready to give service. But when it comes to dhan, please don't ask. So it is not that. Here what Tumara says, my treasure. My wife also, take everybody. My children also, my properties, my household also, take everything. It is all offered to you. And a real Brahmana, he takes it for the service of Krishna. He will never take it for his gratification. Then he is a servant. Since only a person who is completely educated according to the principles of Vedic knowledge deserves to be commander-in-chief, ruler of the state, the first to chastise and the proprietor of the whole planet, Ritu Maharaj offered everything to the Kumaras. That is the consciousness which everyone should have. And what is that consciousness? Actually, everything belongs to the Supreme Personality of God. It is the Lord who has given that authority to the Brahmanas that you can serve me. And the Brahmanas, what they do, they give this privilege of taking care to the Kshatriyas and the Vaishyas. The Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and the Shudras eat their food by virtue of the Brahmanas' mercy. It is the Brahmanas who enjoy their own property, clothe themselves with their own property, and give charity with their own property. So actually, property belongs to the Brahmanas, and it is the Brahmanas who give it to others, and it is the Brahmanas who protect the whole society. By giving this privilege to others, it is the Brahmanas who are protected. So Guru Maharaj says, how can such persons who have rendered unlimited service to explaining the path of self-realization relationship to the Supreme Personality, and whose explanations are given for our enlightenment, be repaid except by folded hands? So it's the Brahmanas' work to give knowledge to the society. So here Guru Maharaj says, how can I repay you? I can just repay you. Even if I try to give everything also, I cannot repay you. Because it is a duty of the Brahmana to give the knowledge to others. It is the Brahmana, real Brahmana is one who takes up this missionary activity. Srila Prabhupada carried this mission to the whole world. That is why the whole world became so supportive to Srila Prabhupada. So it is the anugraha of the Brahmana to give Krishna consciousness to others. Even if a person tries to give everything, still one cannot repay the debt which Srila Prabhupada has given to us, Acharyas have given to us. In every sampradaya, if you see Sripad Ramanuja Acharya, is practically given is everything to give Krishna consciousness to the whole society. That is what is the work of Acharya. Acharya, Acharati iti Acharya. Acharya always sets an example. His life becomes exemplary. And he gives Krishna consciousness to others. His life is meant to give Krishna consciousness to others. How am I going to pay? How am I going to repay the debt? So then, such great personalities can be satisfied only by their own activities, which are distributed amongst the human society out of their causeless mercy. So in this way, Maitri Rishi says, Prithu Maharaj was so happy with the 4 Kumaras. And then Prithu Maharaj, he remained very satisfied. Then he executed the duties, because before starting, he got nicely instructed, nice instructions from Sarat Kumar. His only aim was to satisfy Lord. It is said, Varnashama Achitaha Purushena Parakuman Vishnu Aratite Pantana Netta Purushakaram. They're also the same verse. Karmani cha yatha kalam, yatha desham, yatha balam, yatochitam, yatha vittam, akaro brahma, sat brahma sadhrutam. Whatever a person does, whatever duties he does, that duty is meant to satisfy Krishna. Varna ashrama. Varnas means 4 varnas are there. That is Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. 4 ashram is there. Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. Everybody has a particular duty. But Varnashrama Achitaha Purushena Parakuman Vishnu Aradhate Pantananata Purushakala. It is only for the satisfaction of Krishna. It is for Haritoshanam, it is for the satisfaction of Krishna. A person performs all his duties. You may be a good wife, you may be a good husband, but what is the use of a Grahastha life if a person is not chanting the holy name of Krishna? What is the use of a Grahastha life if he is not begetting the children in Krishna consciousness? What is the use of a Vanaprastha if he is just interested in just giving up all his work and going to the forest, but he is not chanting the holy name of Krishna? So any ashram, any varna, if it is not accomplishing this goal of taking up Krishna consciousness, then everything is just a big zero. Because any duty is going to end in this material life. Your body is ended, the duties are ended. There's only one duty which is going to come along with us, that is spiritual duty. So in this way, Maharaj Prithu dedicated himself as an eternal servant of the Supreme Personality of God. Though he himself is an expansion of Lord, but still phalam brahmani sanyasya nirvi sangha samahitah karma yaksham cha manvanah atmanam praktehe param. In this way, everything belongs to Lord, and he remained as a humble servant of Lord. All the fruits of his activities was completely dedicated to the Lord. That is what we can learn from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is a teaching to understand Bhagavad Gita instructions very nicely. Because in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Krishna says, give up everything and surrender unto me. Then how to give up everything and surrender unto him? Perform all the duties for the satisfaction of Krishna. So in this way, situated in the liberated position, Prithu Maharaj not only performed all the fruitive activities, but also got 5 sons from his wife Archi. And all these 5 sons were Krishna conscious. Vijitashva, Dhumraksha, Haraksha, Dravina, Vrikka. In this way, all the 5 sons of Krishna conscious. So then Prithu Maharaj was a perfect devotee. He wanted to protect the Lord's creation. He did his task very nicely. He was celebrated as a king, as Somaraja, the king of moon. So in this way, he performed his duties very nicely. He was so strong and so powerful that nobody could disobey. If he used to give one command, everybody used to. He was so strong. He's compared to Indra. Then, it so happened, now Prithu Maharaj wanted to retire. Because how long a person is going to work? A person should know also to give up the things and retire so that he can focus completely in Krishna consciousness. So in the next chapter, it comes, Prithu Maharaj gave all his property to his sons, Vijitashva. Then he distributed that to his brothers also. The next chapter where Prithu Maharaj goes to the forest, Archi also follows him because it's a wife's duty to go along with the husband. She also follows, she also serves him. Then Prithu Maharaj ends up his life. And in this way, when his life is, that is, when he has ended his body, at that time Archi, she was lamenting, but she was very courageous. She made a pyre and she kept the body of Prithu Maharaj and lit the funeral. She also climbed there and she became a sati. And all the demigods, the wives of the demigods, they were shocked and so at the wondering also what a pious lady is Archi. Archi is none other than expansion of goddess of fortune. Wherever Vishnu is there, Narayana is there, Lakshmi has to be there. So Lakshmi also followed Narayana. So in this way, everybody glorified Prithu Maharaj, but especially Archi. Archi did one good thing. Though Prithu Maharaj was so scholarly, everything, and he was famous, was ruling, but Archi did one thing, serving Prithu Maharaj very sincerely. That is why she was glorified in heavenly planets also. Heavenly planets, everybody was seeing that how Archi is also following Prithu Maharaj to the supreme abode. So in this way, the next chapter speaks about the glorification of Prithu Maharaj, giving up everything, taking up the renowned sadhana, and then giving up his body. And Archi is also becoming the sati and following Prithu Maharaj. And in this way, they go back to their abode. Then 24th chapter is Rudragir. I'm just waiting for Rudragir, but somehow I'm so attracted to these chapters. From when I'm saying I'll be taking Rudragir, but these chapters are so wonderful. So Rudragir will start from the next week, that is Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. 3 days. Generally, we take this chapter in Mamayur. If you have visited Kerala, that is Guruvayur. Near Guruvayur, there is a place known as Mamayur, where Lord Shiva gave darshan to Prachetas. And when he gave darshan to Prachetas, he gave wonderful instructions. Where he glorified Lord Shiva, glorifying Lord Krishna. Because Lord Shiva is servant God. And Krishna is Sarvapran, isn't it? He is showing that how to be a humble servant to the Supreme Personality of God. And in this way, he glorifies Lord Krishna and gives instructions to Prachetas. So that we'll do. Next week, elaborately, we should not be in hurry. Whenever the great acharyas and devotees' glorifications are there, we should not be in hurry with finishing the chapters. So he will stop. Hare Krishna. On Tuesday, that is on Narasimha Jayanti day, morning 8 o'clock. There is nice, wonderful Vastu Puja, because wherever Lord comes, first Vastu Puja has to be done before starting the kitchen for Krishna. Vastu Puja, Vastu Bali. Then you have Kumbhabhishekam of Lord, because Lord has to be given bath also. Kumbhabhishekam of Lord. And Narsimha Maha Yajna will be there. So we have given the details in the WhatsApp. So all of you can take part and come here and perform lot of services that are also required that day. So all of you should be present early, because Lord has to be given bath. That means he has to be placed in the big, it's a big bathing tub for Lord. That you have to place. A lot of services there. So all of you please come early and come in the Vaishnav code. That is Dhoti Kurta. If you are not able to wear dhoti, at least kurta, pajama, and for the Mataji's it is sari. Mahaprasade Govinde Nam Brahmane Vaishnave Satpunya Tam Rajan